Hey, welcome to PNW Enduro. New bike day today. You want to see what I got? So here's the new bike, 2024 Husqvarna TE300 Pro. So in this short video, I'm just going to go over why I bought this bike and why I switched from Sherco back to a KTM brand. So first off, the Sherco was a great bike. I had it for 3 years. I was ready to try something new. A lot of the stuff I ride, especially in the summer, is huge elevation changes. So with that, I wanted a fuel injected bike. I did run the Smart Carb on the Sherco, but I got tired of the problems in the winter. And I figured I like the TBIs so much, it's time to make the switch back to a fuel injected 2-stroke. And I picked a Husky. So why did I pick the Husky over the KTM? That was a tough choice, but it came down to basically the Husky is a smaller feeling bike and the seat height is lower. I have nothing against the PDS shock and the way it performs, but the seat height is a big factor for me, so I wanted a linkage bike. So why did I pick the TE300 Pro instead of a regular TE? It's about $2,000 more. It's quite a bit. Basically, it comes down to mostly the Brembo brakes. I'm not a fan of the BrakeTech brakes. I don't think there's many people out there that would argue that the BrakeTechs are better than the Brembos. The Brembo clutch is also in here. Honestly, I could go either way. The BrakeTech clutch is actually quite good, so I could go either way on that, but I wanted the brakes. It's also got a fan installed, something I'd already be adding. Rear rotor guard, a really nice one. Something else I'd be adding, so stuff I'd be spending money on that I don't have to. It does have a full coverage skid plate. I'm not 100% convinced on this one, but I'm gonna run it. I know people that have been running them say they're decent. They're not as beefy as an SXS or AXP's plate, but I think it might do okay. Other things this bike has, the front guard. I've never run one of these plastic ones. I'm a little skeptical, but I know people that ride some pretty serious hard enduro that run these, and they say they're good enough. So I'm gonna try this. It's also a lot lighter than those big burly aluminum ones I've been running on the Sherco, so I'll give it a go. Some other things on here is nice map switch. I think the map switches are good when you have electronic power valve. They do seem to make quite a bit of a difference. They did on my Sherco for sure. I wanted a bike with a headlight and trip computer. It's also an upgraded rear sprocket. It's really good quality. A lot of people switching the gearing on these bikes, it's geared pretty high. This is a 45/13, so a lot of people are doing 48 on the back. Since this is such a nice sprocket, I don't want to waste it. I'm going to go right away to a 12 on the front, and that's going to be a pretty similar gearing to 1348. I'm going to run this switch for now, but it's something I'm probably going to switch pretty soon into the 2-button old style system, because these switches are kind of a pain. I don't like them, and I don't really think anyone likes them. Another thing, it comes with a tugger strap. It's kind of a cool strap because it's elastic there. I was going to put my trail-bound one on. I've got a trail-bound one on for the back. But this seems okay. I don't know. I'll see how I like it. LED headlight, I'm going to have to test and see how well that works compared to the old style ones. And of course, right away I'm going to put a spark arrestor on just to be legal on the trails. Alright, there it is. That's my new ride. I'm going to start getting it ready today. So first thing I like to do is keep the bike completely stock, fill it with fuel, and weigh it. We are at 254.5. I'll be taking a little bit of weight off the bike by removing the tail light, and then I'm going to start adding weight with gummy tire mousses, rad guards, whatnot. Okay, bike build time on the new TE300 Pro. So Bulletproof Designs hooked me up with a bunch of goodies. I'm going to put on the rad guards first. These are the best in the business. I really like these. I've had these on my past 3 bikes, a KTM and a couple Shercos. I'm really happy with the Bulletproof products, and they're really easy to install on the KTMs. Got a bunch of other goodies in there. I'll go over that stuff. Trailbound sent me a rear tugger strap. I do have the front one left over from my other bike. Might replace this one that comes on there. And Flow Motorsports sent me these pegs. I've used these pegs on both the Shercos, and they're fantastic pegs. Really great grip. Keep your feet on the pegs a little better. They were essential on my Sherco because I didn't like the flat pegs, and I'm going to want them on the Husky as well because I want to just have the same kind of feel. So thanks to Bulletproof Designs, Trailbound, and Flow Motorsports. Let's get this build going. I got some mooses over there, gummy tire, gonna go in the rear. I'm gonna keep the MX-33 Dunlop on the front. I've heard good things about them, so I'm gonna try this tire. I was wondering when I picked the bike up, how the heck do you check the oil level? Because you can't really see. This little panel just snaps off, and you can see your oil reservoir there and check the level. You can see the dealer has it topped up. So whenever I own a KTM brand bike, I always change the brake pedal tip. This one is from Clean Speed. It's a little bit bigger, and it also sits a little farther back too. I find that the brake pedals on the KTM bikes are a little bit too long for me. This helps me from having to shift my feet around. You can see how much farther back and how much farther it sticks out. Not too expensive of an upgrade, but it works really well for me. A little stronger than stock as well. Okay, if you're curious, the stock silencer weighs 3 pounds, 12.2 ounces. The FMF Turbine Core 2.1, 3 pounds, 5.1 ounces. So just slightly lighter. These are required to ride on most public lands. So it's a good idea to get one of these. I know it's expensive, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to call this done for now. There's a couple things left to go, but I want to ride tomorrow, so I'll get to those later. I'm going to try the stock pegs once, and then I'm going to put the Flow Motorsports pegs on, just so I can tell the difference. It's good to try the new pegs. So let's go over what I've done, and then I will weigh the bike and see how much weight it has gained. So JX8 gummy tire and a brand new moose on the back. FMF 2.1 turbine core spark arrestor. Got the Clean Speed brake pedal that's a little larger and farther back. Really like that piece. Tusk full wrap handguards. They're making them in black now. They look pretty nice, and the white goes with the rest of the bike. And I'm running the stock front tire, but I've also put a moose. So on the back tire, I'm always using a soft moose. And on the front, I use a regular, or a plushie as they call it. But I will note that I buy one size smaller than what the size chart specs. I think the size chart is kind of wrong. The ones that are spec'd for this tire are huge. It's really, really hard to install, and then you get a super hard tire. So this one is a size down. I mean, it still feels like 10 to 12. The install is a lot easier. All right, so before the build, we were at 254.5 pounds. So let's see where we're at now. So ready to ride, full of fuel, all the parts on. 259 even, so it only gained 4.5 pounds. Not too bad. I remember over on the Sherco, I think I gained 13 pounds with all the stuff I added. So 259 is not too bad.